First thing we want you to do before you even go out onto the job site is to download the I Can Go app, and there's instructions here on how to get that onto your phone. That will show you your error codes with the new system, should there be any. It'll also allow Minnich direct access to the drill to help you diagnose any issues while you're in the field, and it'll also allow you to make adjustments to drills and your sensors for depth. Please take note that this is a 24-volt system. Best thing about the A-3SCW is the remote system. It allows the operator to have a clear vantage point. It does come with 2 batteries. Each battery lasts 8 to 12 hours, so put a new one in, start of the day. If both batteries would die in an emergency situation, it does come with a tether, and you would connect it from the remote here into the drill. It'll plug right into here. Be sure if you're going to attach the tether to remove the battery out of the remote, or else it won't work. The actual turning on process happens here. Turn on the on switch and then pull the e-stop up, push the start button, and you will have a green light that comes on here and allows you to know that you are connected. For your air requirements, you need a 2-inch hose that connects to the main air source. As far as air requirements for the drills themselves, each drill will run on a 92.5 CFM airflow. We like to say 100 just to get maximum efficiency. Since this has 3 drills, then that would be 100, 100, 100, so 300 CFM. And then if you have a dust collection system on your machine, then you need to add an extra 50 per drill. So you want to figure 150 per drill if you have dust collection system. So a 3-gang would require 450 CFM to run this machine efficiently. On the top of the drill, we do have the 2 air gauges. You have the incoming line pressure that should read 120. Shouldn't drop below 100 PSI while you're drilling. It should stay right about 100. And then your feed pressure, it should be between 18 and 22. If you need to make that adjustment, you can do that right here by tightening or loosening this. Also, you should know that turning up your feed pressure doesn't make your drilling faster. You need the percussion and the bounce back of the drill steel. You need to fine tune that to the right amount of pressure. Applying more pressure actually will just keep driving it in and you won't get that percussion. So backing it off may actually create faster drilling. Here's our oil reservoir and our oil fill. And this will hold 1.5 gallons of rock drill oil. You want to fill it every 4 hours. There is a sight glass showing the oil level. There's also an oil level indicator right here, and that will turn red if the oil gets too low, and the drills will not work. So you need to add oil, and then the oil indicator would turn to green. Next to the sight dome on the oil reservoir is where you can adjust the oil flow with a flathead screwdriver. The drill bed, when it's in a lowered position, will come from the factory level. If you do need to make some adjustments over time, you can simply place a level on a rail when it's in the horizontal position, and then make your adjustment right here on the threaded guide on your cylinder. Here's your height bolt, and to lower and raise the bed, you want to undo the jam nut here, and then you can raise and lower accordingly. And then make sure you tighten back up the jam nut once you got it in the position that you'd like. To adjust the spacing in between your drill hammers, on these U-bolts, there's 4 bolts on each end. You just want to loosen those and then shimmy your drill rail over to the position you want. Obviously make sure you tighten them up once you have them in the position that you'd like. So as far as adjusting the depth of how deep your hole will be, on this machine there's 2 sensors. There's one at the top of the cylinder, and then there's one that runs along the side of the cylinder here. And they're magnetic. So when you hit the feed, it releases from this top cylinder and then goes until it hits the other sensor on the cylinder. So Once it hits that, it'll retract and go back and turn off the drills when it hits the sensor on the back end of the cylinder. So to adjust the depth, you want to slide this front sensor forward or back to determine the amount that the rail slides forward or back. Drill your first hole and then make a measurement, and then whatever adjustments you need to make, then you can slide your sensor along your cylinder to make that adjustment. So if you're 2 inches too shallow, then slide your sensor forward 2 inches, and that will allow the drill to go that much further forward. And then just like all our other drills, there is a depth stop rod on the side of each rail. We just usually set that maybe a ½ inch deeper than your sensors are set. It's just kind of a backup to your sensors. Now, the Minnich drills require 4 1/4 under collar drill steel, not 3 1/4. 3 1/4 will greatly hinder your drilling speed. 4 1/4 is the proper size. To install the drill steel, you just want to drop it through the drill guide, and then set it up in and put the latch up. And then remember, it should turn one direction, not the other. So for the drilling process, we want to turn all 3 drills on because we have 3 drills on this particular unit. And then we can go ahead and turn the feed on as well. Then each time we only need to hit the initiate on button. If we only wanted to run, let's say number 1 and number 3 drill, then we could just turn on number 1, number 3, turn the feeds on for number 1 and number 3, and then hit the initiate button, and then only drills 1 and 3 will work. The joystick controls the drill. You can see steer right and steer left and forward and reverse. To lift and lower the bed on the drill, simply use the toggle switch to lift up or down. One fantastic feature about this drill is the crab steering, and we turn that on the remote, and then what that does is it actually locks the wheels into the same position, hugging it tight to the slab of concrete so that your drill bed is always held tight to the slab of concrete. That way you can drill, lift the bed just slightly, and then move to the next drilling position, drop your drill bed back down, and drill right away. And that eliminates any kind of adjustment and steering, and it's a great time saver and makes your drilling really efficient. To engage your crab feature, you turn the crab on, and then you can turn left or turn right, whichever position you want, to hug your drill closest to the slab. To disengage your crab, you turn the crab button to the off position, and then you need to steer left and steer right, and you'll hear the linear actuator actually fall out of position. To turn the dust collection system on and off is with this switch here. You can turn it on and leave it on. If you're drilling in wet conditions, turn it off because you do not want to run a dust collection system in a wet environment. It'll clog up the filter on the inside of the dust collection system. When the dust collector is on the on position, after each set of holes, you want to hit the pulse. That'll send a reverse blast of air through the filter system, keeping it clean and clear. As far as daily maintenance goes, one thing we want to watch is get a lot of vibration right here. So these bolts, any of the bolts around the hammer, you want to make sure that those are tight before you start drilling. And just a word of caution on this one that goes around the throat of the hammer. You want to make sure that this particular area that these bolts are snug, but do not over tighten them because it can actually hinder the rotation of your drill. Over time with vibration, sometimes the exhaust deflectors will spin and move, and you want to make sure that they are facing in a downward position. If they rotate up and you're storing this in an upward position, rain or moisture can go right down into that and rust the whole inside of your drill. The tires are complete solid rubber, so there is no air maintenance on those. And then also you have grease points located around the machine. Make sure you keep the machine lubricated. You need to make sure that you get the right amount of rock drill oil to your rock drill hammer, and 2 ways to tell you're getting the proper amount. On the exhaust deflector, you should have a oily film right on the inside, and then also right next to the collar of the drill steel, you should have an oily film here as well. Empty your buckets every 30 minutes from the dust collection system. When you need to clean the filter, you can just remove these. And then just up inside is a wing nut, and you can just unscrew that, and your filter will come down, and you can clean your filter and then replace it. Make sure that you do get a good seal on that when you put the filter back up in there. When you're done using the drill for the day, or you want to change or add oil, remember that this whole machine is under high air pressure. So to bleed the air, you want to turn your air off at the main source, at the compressor, and then you'll turn your drill on and your feed on, and hit initiate, and then that'll allow any residual air to drain out through the drill. At Minnich Manufacturing, we care about your safety, so please make sure you have all your PPE gear on and functional while you're running one of our drills. And if you have any questions at all, please give us a call. Our phone number is right on the drill, and we'll help you through any situation you may run into.